Hey friends, it's Missy again. Thanks for joining me today. I'm here with a new layout for the Shimmerz education team. And real quick before we start, don't forget, if you're shopping online at the Shimmerz store, if you mention my name in the comments section, then you can get one surprise free paint in your order. So for this layout, I was in the mood to use a cut file, and I've already done some cutting here on some white cardstock. It's hard to see here, but I'm using Paige Evans' Folded Circles cut file, and she actually has two. This one is the hexagon shape, and so when you fold up the little edges there, the circles are there's gonna be 6 little round pieces on the edge that fold in, and so it's gonna give the circle a ton of dimension. So I'm just going to start with plain white, and then I'm going to use Shimmerz to color all these circles. I added some gesso there and let that dry because this is just plain textured cardstock. It's not super thick or anything. And I'm just going to go to town making a bright, summery, rainbow type mess here. And I'll show you all the colors that I'm using. I'm using some sprays here to start. I've got Coloringz Pretty in Pink, Coloringz Pink Stilettos, and then the other pink is Sweetheart, which is a Vibez. That darker pink that I'm using there is also a Vibez, and it's Razzle, Dazzle Berry. The orangey colors are Vibez Sunset Strip and Vibez Glorious Day. So you can see how easy this part was. I just sprayed it down, and then some of it I used my palette knife to kind of scrape it and blend it. Now I'm going to come in with some blues. This is my all-time favorite blue. It's Vibez Jeni B Bleu. I think I could use that on every layout for the rest of eternity and be completely happy with it because it's my favorite blue ever. That is Coloringz Well Blue Me Down, and it's more of an aqua color. And I'm just spraying and smudging and blending and dabbing. I just want to get all the circles colored, and I want them to look kind of like a rainbow when this is all said and done. So all you have to do this type of thing here is be able to make a mess, and so that's all I'm doing here. It's a lot of fun, but the end result looks like it took a lot of effort when it really didn't. So what I'm painting on there now is one of the brand new colors. That's an original Shimmerz paint in the little pot there, and it's called Pull Me Close. And then this color here is also one of the new colors, and it's called Pinko de Mayo. And the Shimmerz paints, the original ones that are in these pots here, they come to you already mixed up, and there is a ton of glittery sparkle in there. And so when they dry, the shimmer is off the charts, and so you'll be able to see it when it's dry. But so pretty. This is another original Shimmerz paint, and it's a color called Bumbly Bee, and it's really intense yellow gold color with a ton of shimmer. Very pretty when it dries. All of these colors are pretty. The Coloringz don't have any shimmer, but the Vibez have a lot of shimmer, and then all of these original Shimmerz paints have shimmer. This is another Shimmerz, and it's called Candlelight, and it's a soft gold color. And I'm just adding the 2 gold colors here just to add some extra sparkle and shine here. It's not so intense where this gold here is going to pop off the page, but it's going to add like a gold tint to whatever color I put it on top of. So I could just keep doing this forever. This is so fun to me. I could splatter and spray and smudge and blend until I rip holes in the paper, but we're not going to do that. I'm going to have to kind of pull back here for a second and let it be finished. And this is where the gesso helps. The gesso, you can still see the paper kind of warping a little bit because I'm adding a lot of liquid, but the gesso helps tremendously with that. It's going to help toughen up the paper, and it's going to help give it even more texture. So here it's dry. Look at how shimmery, and shimmery is the best word to describe it. It's just so pretty. If you love shimmer, then you'll love these products. So now I'm going to peel off everything from my cutting mat. Yeah, I forgot to mention this was still on my silhouette cutting mat. I do a lot of my mixed media stuff before I peel it off. It has never harmed the mat at all. And it did take a little bit of pushing to try to get the circles out because I did add the gesso, and it kind of makes the edges a little bit sticky, but it peeled off great. So here's how this cut file works. When you peel off the circle, there's little cut lines inside that look like little scallops, and all you have to do is fold the edges in, and you could do this either direction. Now I'm pretty sure this was designed for double-sided pattern paper, and so when you fold the edges over, you're going to see the other side of the paper. But I thought I would try this with mixed media and leave the back white. And at first I thought maybe I want to flip these over and use the biggest part white and then the edges colored. But when this is all done, I love how this looks. I love the white edges. I think it looks pretty cool. I'm going to use this background paper, and this is from Heidi Swapp, one of the new collection. I think it's called Hawthorne, and I love this gorgeous pink paper. It's from my recent hip kit, and I hadn't used it yet. And so I'm just going to kind of make a collage or a mosaic, whatever you want to call it, of all of these different sized and different colored circles. And I think this turns out really, really cool. And you can see how complicated this looks once this is all done. But all you have to do is make a mess on some white paper and then fold the circles. And it looks like something that you spent hours making, and it really doesn't. It took longer to dry than it did to make it. So this is the picture I'm going to start with. It's just a cute random close-up of Reese. I'm going to wind up changing it because I decided to just go with more of a square photo. I thought this one was kind of small at first. I like the way it looks, and I like the black and white, and I like the way she's looking toward all of those circles, but I just felt like I needed a bigger picture. Not a huge picture, but a little bit bigger. So in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and start to glue down all of these circles. I didn't want to move them because I knew if I moved them, I would never get them back just so. So I'm just adding a little bit of glue, and I'm not doing anything to my background paper. I'm just going to glue down because you can kind of see some of the background paper peeking through the circles, but that really didn't matter to me. So here's the picture. I changed it. It's a little bit bigger and it's more of a square. There's a lot more white space, which actually I guess is black space since it's a black and white picture. But I've got some room to overlap some of the circles. So that's kind of what I wanted to do. I wanted to tuck the picture underneath some of the circles there, but I don't want to cover up her. So I'm going to leave her open so the picture is still very visible, but yet it looks kind of tucked in there. I added a little bit of tissue paper behind it just to create a little messy, subtle border behind there. I'm going to make sure it's straight. And my lights don't like when I stick my head in the way, so sorry about that blinding flash of light there, but it was only for a split second. So now I'm going to come in and figure out where all the rest of the circles are going to go, and I'm just going to glue them down right on top of the picture there. And this layout winds up having a ton of texture. The circles turned out really, really cool, and I really love the white edges. It just has a cool look, and this would look totally different if you cut these on pattern paper. And I know Paige recently did a layout with the other folded circles with the when you fold in the four edges, it looks like a square. And she did really teeny tiny ones on a gazillion pieces of pattern paper, and it looked amazing. I was inspired and blown away right away. So I thought I'm going to try something similar, but with the other one. And so this is kind of what I came up with. Now I pulled out some things from my stash. I've got some older Amy Tangerine, this Dear Lizzie sheet of pattern paper, and some recent small gold foam thickers there. And that's also from my most recent hip kit. And I wanted something to do with summer in the title. And my first thought was summertime feeling, because I wanted to mix and match. And I knew that the chipboard Amy Tangerine, whatever collection this is, it's at least a year old, had the word feeling, and then I was going to cut the word time from that scripty Dear Lizzie paper and kind of do a mix and match. So that's kind of where my thought process is for the title. I'm going through that little sticker book and just adding in some little, some hearts, and then a couple strips on the edge here that are kind of, I guess, meant to be labels. But I'm going to use them as little pieces of interesting color kind of peeking out from the side of the picture. And I know I've said this before, but with clear stickers, if you want them to remain the true color, like that blue heart, I stuck it to white cardstock first, because otherwise it would just, you would lose it because it's clear. I cut out the word time, and I wound up changing my mind because I didn't like that it was black. I felt like the black photo was enough. I don't know, I just didn't like the darkness for that title. So I'm just going to name this Summer Feeling, and it's simple, easy. I didn't have to, you know, spend hours coming up with a title. And I'm also going to use that other little piece that's a chipboard that says yay, because there is a little bit of that green going on in the circles. And then I added a little gold yes please clear sticker at the top. And I'm going to wind up moving that because I'm going to add some more stuff there momentarily. I'm going to add several hearts, chipboard hearts, clear sticker hearts. And I don't really add a ton of embellishments. And I know I say this a lot when for some reason it's always on my Shimmerz pages, because when I create my Shimmerz pages, I tend to use up most of the space with something that I created with Shimmerz, whether it's flowers or in this case circles. And I feel like that, you know, that's pretty busy and it takes up most of the page. And I don't want to distract from that. And I don't want to distract from the photo. And so I feel like that's enough. So I'm just going to add little bits of embellishments. I'm going to add that title, and then I'm going to add the hearts to the right. And then I'm going to add in some thread, of course. I have to add my thread in. It's my addiction, and I don't even know why. I still don't know why. I just love it. I love the texture and I love the color. I'm going to add some pink over there to the right, a little bit of a golden yellow color underneath the left right there. And I don't feel like it's so bold. It doesn't muddy anything up. It just adds a little bit of something extra, I think. I mixed a darker aqua and a lighter blue color together to add to the top, and that's where I had to move the yes please sticker because you couldn't see it anymore. So I'm going to move it over to the right a little bit after I glue it all down. And I didn't add any dimensional adhesive behind my picture because I'm tucking it underneath everything, and I've already got plenty of dimension going on with those circles. And so I'm going to make sure the chipboard's glued down because, you know, chipboard, it never wants to stick. And I'm almost finished. Oh, I do add one more little heart, and then I am going to add one more Shimmerz product, and that is gold. Now, this is one of my favorite golds from Shimmerz. It's Minor 49er, and it's an Inklingz. And it is very, very close to what Heidi Swapp Gold Color Shine looks like, in my opinion. It's one of my favorite golds, and I love it. Last thing I'm going to do is add in some lines and my journaling, and then I add the date. There you can see how shimmery and sparkly that gold is. And I just used a black pen since I had the black and white photo, and I do add a couple more little heart stickers to the left of the yay. But that's the final layout. I love how this turned out. I think those circles are super cool, and you can really see the shimmers coming up here in the still shots. I tried to get some in different lighting so you can see how shimmery and sparkly everything is. So pretty. This was a lot of fun to make. I hope you guys enjoyed watching it. I hope it gave you some fun ideas to try with your shimmers and all of your paints and the cut file. So let me know if you have any questions. I hope you guys have a great week, and I will see you in the next video.